Someone offers you $100 per hour to watch any movie on repeat. Which movie do you choose? When I worked at Walmart in electronics, that was basically my job. Watch Finding Nemo for 8 hours a day on loop, or whatever comparable kids movie had recently come out, and I got a hell of a lot less than $100 each for it. We had Megamind on repeat with one of the Samsung displays, I think. Tangled, and then eventually Wreck-It Ralph. They might be good movies, but it really does make you angry stuck listening to them 8 hours a day. When your friends say they want to watch a movie, and you roll your eyes because you know whatever they choose, you've seen it a million times. For $100 hour? Any movie, are you kidding? That's not enough money to get me to watch Cats. Edit, the number of times the word butthole has showed up in my replies is too damn high. So here's me reacting to seeing Taylor Swift's CGI cat butthole. Depends on if it's the butthole edit or not. Release the butthole cut. Wait, they show buttholes in cats? In case you're seriously looking for information on this meme, basically the legend goes that for the Cats movie they originally had CGI buttholes on all the cats. Then they decided that was just too much, so they paid someone to redo all the CGI and remove the buttholes. According to the tale, the studio still has the original cut, aka the butthole cut, and people are demanding they release it. Groundhog Day. A loop within a loop, I think it'd go crazy. Watching it twice a day, from Monday to Tuesday, 208 days a year, so that's 416 by 141, length of the movie, 692 hours of Groundhog Day. That's 69K a year. That really doesn't sound too bad. 3-day weekend, less than 4 hours of work a day. I could live with that. Also, as long as you're averaging 8 viewings a week, you should be golden, meaning you could smash out the whole lot in 2 days, then take the rest of the week off. A sweet opportunity to travel, as you'll be able to work anywhere and have tons of free time. Google Glass, a giant battery pack, and you could let it run all throughout your day, live your life like relative, normal, and get paid. It's duck and big brain time. One I hated, because not matter what movie it is, I'll end up hating it anyway. For $100 an hour, I'll watch any stupid movie. I wouldn't want to watch scary movies though. Honestly, a scary movie might not be that bad. Horror movies get a lot of their horror from the unknown, so once you've seen everything that'll happen 2 to 3 times, you can just focus on all the little mistakes that most people wouldn't catch on their first viewing. Also, a lot of scary movies have terrible writing, which could become a humorous thing to focus on in a The Room sort of way. Speaking of The Room, I imagine it could qualify as psychological horror if someone was forced to watch it on repeat for a few days while in isolation. Imagine watching it so much that you become conditioned into seeing Tommy Wiseau as normal human behavior. Throw in the ridiculous amount of money you earn by watching it so much, and you've basically found a way to turn people into Tommy. Okay, so I actually have some context for this. My friend and I got really into The Room, and bad movies in general, in college. We were always up for a challenge, and, one year, we decided to watch The Room once a day and just see how long we could go in a year. We had certain rules. You could skip a day, but you had to watch it twice the next day. You could listen to the audio in the car, but you had to finish the movie visually at some point, etc. I made it 38 days. He made it 42. It became a nightmare. You memorize it really fast and, by day 10, begin responding to the characters. 2 weeks in, and it was my dream every night. It was literally ruining my life because I knew, at some point, I was watching The Room that day. And, once I was done, I dreaded the next day because it meant The Room. My friend fell almost a week behind and slammed it 6 times in a row. It was brutal. Edit, who would have thought that one of the dumbest times in my life would lead to one of my most upvoted comments? Well, never mind, that seems to be how it works. I'm happy my dumb follies have brought you all joy. Watching that movie 6 times in a row is a level of masochism Lars von Trier could only dream of. Something in Spanish with subtitles so I can become bilingual and understand my Spanish-speaking patients without a translator and get paid for the engaging activity. That reminds me of the Zach Galifianakis, I want to learn Spanish so that I can watch the Spanish channel and figure out what I've been laughing at for all these years. Primer. I doubt I'd have it figured out after 20 hours, so that's 2 grams right there. As soon as I finished watching that, I spent like an hour reading flowcharts and synopsis on what happened. I'm still confused. I had a somewhat opposite experience. I saw the movie and left thinking, wow, that's so clever, I can't believe X made Y happen, and no one saw Z coming. I saw a flowchart a little later, and it was more like Event X12 from Timeline 4 creates Paradox Y4 when version 3 of Character 1 goes back to Timeline 3 and creates Event Z53 that begins Timeline 5. Realized I'm too much of an idiot to even realize how much I missed. Lol, I'm in this comment, and I'm okay with it. That was a fun movie, gonna have to rewatch it soon, and since I'm also dumb, probably draw the same conclusions I did previously. When I was 14, I watched Titanic 3 times in a day. Easy money. I read this at first as you watching Titanic 3 edit, well, my first silver or better. Thanks, I guess. That damn ship won't stop sinking. Starring Samuel L. Jackson. Hold on to your boats. There's a new iceberg in town. That's it. I'm sick of all these motherfucking icebergs in this motherfucking ocean. Probably Hot Fuzz so I can just keep spotting details each time. I was going to say Shaun of the Dead for the same reason. Scott Pilgrim for me. So Edgar Wright in general. Correct. Same goes for Baby Driver and The World's End. I'm convinced that The World's End will be my favorite movie like 20 years from now when I've exhausted my ability to rewatch the others, and then I put on The World's End, and it's a relatively fresh Edgar Wright movie. I didn't dislike it by any stretch, but anytime I want to watch an Edgar Wright movie, it's usually a toss-up between any of the others, with a tilt to Hot Fuzz. $100 per hour? Literally any movie. I don't care. I would prefer something that keeps me engaged, like Seven or something like that, but for $100 per hour I don't care what movie it is. Don't care. Be careful or you'll get stuck with Barbie, Fairytopia. $100 per hour. Grab the popcorn. I'll put in my 8-hour workday. I'll even pull overtime. Exactly. For $100 an hour I'd watch it in a Barbie princess dress with a Ken doll up my ass. Would you even need the $100 to do that? Money is a fantastic mental lubricant. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King Extended Cut. The longest possible film is probably the default meta choice. Woodstock documentary is 5.5 hours long and it's mostly all music you can dance to. If I'm gonna watch something over and over, I'm gonna wanna get jiggy with it. Everyone seems to be interpreting this as being like a job, where you're doing it for tens of hours a week as your primary form of income, but what if you just do it every now and then for supplemental income? Something like The car needs a new timing belt but we're a little short. Guess I'm watching Dark Knight a few times this weekend. How could you go to work for whatever your normal hourly rate is knowing that you could be in bed watching Shrek 2 with a bowl of buttery popcorn and earning $100 an hour? Oh brother, where art thou, or The Big Lebowski? That's just like, your opinion man. Over the line. No, Walter, you're not wrong, you're just an asshole. The entire LOTR trilogy. If I can count all 3 special editions edited together a movie, then this is my answer to. It's fantastic, plus it's long as duck so it'll get repetitive a lot less quickly. 9 hours long, $900. Plus they're my favorites movies, so win-win. With the extended editions you're looking at closer to 12 hours. The extended edition is true version of the movie. They do add a lot to the movies, yes. Although I can understand why the theater editions were cut back a bit, those are already quite long. Yeah man, Return of the King Extended alone is about 4 hours and 30 minutes or something. And I love every minute of it.